Now the U.S. is stepping up to be beside them. But make no mistake, Israel does not trust the U.S. Israel does not trust Biden and Harris because they haven't been there.
Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley says Israel doesn't trust the current administration as the Israeli government is now weighing its retaliatory response to Iran. Joining us now, Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman, a staunch defender of Israel. Welcome back to the show, sir.
It's great to be back.
I want to play a little bit more from Ambassador Haley and get your reaction. Here's a bit more of what she had to say.
He lifted the sanctions on Iran. He allowed the money to flow. He basically continued to dictate to our allies what they couldn't do. I'm glad Israel did. I'm glad Israel went forward and said enough with Biden and Harris. We're going to protect ourselves because we can't count on them to help us do that.
Senator, do you agree with the ambassador that Israel should move forward and disregard the advice of the Biden-Harris administration, or no?
I really don't have any regard for what she's saying. And I'm not going to politicize, what's about in Israel right now. And for me, it's about following Israel. And I've been very clear that my voice in that vote is going to follow Israel on that. And whatever they decide to do in response to Iran, I'm going to support that because Israel will have a better idea of the intelligence and the circumstances on the ground. And that's why I'm going to support and follow that. And I also want to celebrate what Israel has been able to do. They've demolished Hamas, and now they have humiliated Hezbollah, and they are now cowering. And Iran shot 200 missiles, and they vaporized those. So Iran now is left exposed and humiliated, and Israel has put them back on the ropes, and I am going to support what they continue to do.
Yeah, and we wait to see what their response will be. And we know that there are often very long time frames in the Middle East about responses and answering. We know there's tension between President Biden and Prime Minister Netanyahu. There's been no secret of that. When asked whether Israel should strike Iran's nuclear facilities this week, President Biden said, quote, "The answer is no." Well, an opinion piece in Wall Street Journal puts it this way. Even before he talks with Mr. Netanyahu, the president engages in public lobbying aimed at blocking a sovereign state and American ally from deciding on its own what the best response to a direct military attack on its territory is. Iran attacked Israel for the second time in 6 months, but Mr. Biden tells Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei that the U.S. will help the regime protect its most prized and threatening military asset. Piece goes on to say that this administration has waived sanctions, has been easier on Iran than it should be. You're among those, most everybody who admits Iran is the centerpiece problem of the Middle East. So what do you make about this back and forth with Biden and Netanyahu?
Well, again, Iran is the problem. And now they've had their proxies destroyed by Israel, whether that's Hezbollah or Hamas. Israel has already done that. And now what's left really is Iran. And Iran, they sent 200 missiles toward civilians. And again, they were vaporized now, too. Now, Iran is now having to face what really do they have the kinds of influences they're going to continue to have. And now Israel has the opportunity to target whether that's going to be oil or their nuclear now. And Iran now is back on the ropes, and they've been exposed as weak, and they've been scattered.
All right, I want to ask about your state, a huge electoral prize. You're getting a lot of love, a lot of visits. You're doing campaigning as well. Everybody wants to win the Commonwealth. On Friday, the president talked about the Great Jobs Report. He wants to say the economy, which tests as the #1 issue in Pennsylvania, as it does across the rest of the country. He wants to point to that and the progress that is being made on the economy. But one of your colleagues had this to say on X on Friday. This is GOP Senator Marco Rubio. He says another fake jobs report out from Biden-Harris government today. 16 of the last 17 reports have been significantly revised downwards after media helps them with their fake headlines. But all the fake numbers in the world aren't going to fool people dealing with the Biden-Harris economic disaster every day. Our last poll in Pennsylvania shows 71% of Pennsylvanians think that the economy is only fair or poor. So what's the argument there to your constituents about why they should choose the Harris-Walz ticket?
Oh, well, I'm a fan of my colleague from Florida. I was actually shocked that Trump didn't pick him over Vance. And now let's talk about Pennsylvania, and it's going to be very competitive. And that's another fact that the American economy is the world's envy. And now 250,000 new jobs, and inflation has been put in check, and things continue to get better and better on that. And it's going to be very, very close. In 2020, I put out a picture of the Butler rally from Trump. And now I said it's going to be very close in 2020, and then it was. And now back he was in Butler, and it's the same thing, and nothing has changed. You know, it was a big rally, and there was tens and tens of thousands of people, and Musk joined him, and I guess Musk is a big deal as a surrogate as well, too. And that's why I've been spending my time in small rooms all across Pennsylvania and red counties. I was in Beaver County yesterday, and later today when I get off with you, I'm going to head to Lancaster, and I'm going to be all across Pennsylvania because we're going to fight for every last vote. And Trump understands that Pennsylvania picks the president. Our side definitely knows this, and we've seen that happen both in 2016 and in 2020. And I'm going to be doing this in 2024. And whoever is watching this, please, you know, you should understand that it's not going to come down to, burns on Twitter or on who said this or who did this. It's going to be a very stark choice, and it's going to be close. And I happen to believe that Harris will prevail, just like Joe Biden did in 2020.
All right. Well, we all appreciate the opportunity to spend time in Pennsylvania, so we'll be doing that a lot more for the next 30 days. Senator, thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.